The Force is with you, young Skywalker. You are not a Jedi yet. You are beaten. It is useless to resist. Luke, don't make me destroy you.
This were the end of our love, would you still be there when the world falls apart?
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
And the sun's disappearing, would I be the one that you call at the end of it all?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Collector's Outpost. I am John. So today we're taking a look at the Empire Strikes Back lightsaber of the Dark Lord himself, Darth Vader. I'm always interested to see, a company's take on any of the original classic lightsabers. For one of the reasons why they were kind of hard to decipher over the years on what was used, what part was this, what part is that. They didn't have a ton of fantastically high resolution color images, so a lot of us, we've always just been pulling screen grabs and stuff like that. Luckily, I believe some of the lightsabers over the years did go on like tours, just presentation tours, expos and stuff like that, and those images have come out. But I think we're at a point in time where we kind of have a lot of these little mysteries that we wondered over the years. What is this? What is that? What does that really look like? Is that a scratch? Is that rust? Is it just chipped paint? I think a lot of it has kind of been exposed, but it's kind of cool that we still question certain things about specific lightsabers from back then. What was that? That was like 1980, so like 45 years later? Man, is it really 45? It came out in 1980. I was born in 1979, so I'll be 46. Oh, where's the time going? But anyway, let me get past my midlife crisis right now and just try to enjoy one of these lightsabers from those original 3 movies I grew up with. Now, this was sent over from the folks over at Vader Sabers. Thank you so much for sending this over for everybody to check out. I'll put a link and discount code for you down in the description and in the comments if you want to check this out and everything else that Vader Sabers has to offer. Vader Sabers is really cool because if you want to upgrade some of these things and get your lightsabers weathered, they do offer a weathering service as well. So you can take these pristine lightsabers and kind of beat them up and rust them and add some of those really nice heat stains on the emitters, if he's able to do it. I just think having a weathering service right where you're ordering a lightsaber from is a fantastic thing because you don't have to go hunting for certain stuff. So before we dig on into this, if you are new here, thank you so much for checking out a lightsaber video with me. Please drop down, hit the like, subscribe, and notification button for upcoming videos. I have a lot of lightsabers and a bunch of hot toys coming in that I think you're going to want to check out. And if you're a returning viewer and a friend of the channel already, thanks so much for coming back. Let's dig on in to this unboxing. All right, now there is something really cool and really special about this particular Darth Vader lightsaber, and it's a new chassis that TXQ I think is starting to offer more of now. I actually have 2 of these chassis here now. There's this one, and I have a Cal Kestis coming up, but I think the same or very similar chassis to this one. And we've also seen a very similar chassis to this in the Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber that we recently took a look at. So let's put this aside and see what else we come with. It obviously comes with all of the standard stuff. This is a really good thing. I like that it came with this. We have our USB-C charging cable, Allen key, a couple extra retention screws, and we also have, let's see, how many are in here? 2 extra grips just in case these get ruined or fall off or whatever, that you can stick a couple new ones on. I could also see a couple of replacement retention screws. Here we have the retention screws right under the shroud emitter right there. And we do have a product and app guide. This is the SNV4 Pro, so you can control the whole thing, configure a lot of things that you might need, such as blade styles that you can add on here, blade length. I always have to adjust my blade length because I use 32 inches. So you can do a whole bunch of stuff with the app. And then it does come with this more turbine simple blade plug, which I am never a fan of. This is, and it's really tight, by the way. I almost don't recommend putting a blade plug in here that doesn't have something that grab onto. One of the things that I think I'm gonna have to upgrade on that is the blade plug, which I might have to sand down, because it should have more of this kind of bolt in there. If you can see, let me see if I can zoom in. This is my 89 Sabers version, but I believe it should have more of that bolt style blade plug in there. So I'm gonna have to hunt one of these down. I believe I can get one of those from the custom saber shop. So I'll put a link down below in the description if you want to check that out. Here's another blade plug that I really do like, and it actually would look really good in the Vader hilt over here. I do believe Vader Sabers also sells these as well. I'll dig it up from the accessories page if I can find it and put a link down below. But let me just see if this fits in any better or if it's the same problem. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's like super tight. So if this falls in there, or if you push it in there, you're not getting it out. So if I wind up using this or something else, because I'm gonna see if I can hunt down the Vader plug for this, that's the correct one, that bolt look. I'm probably gonna have to sand off some material. So just keep that in mind. And of course, it does come with a display stand. Very nice display stand. However, it's a Vader hilt, man. You might want to get a nicer stand. Vader Sabers also has really great stands. The stands have some LED lights. You can get them in single stands, multiple rack stands. For me, if you have a Vader, a Graflex, and maybe Luke's Hero Saber, and you want to line them up in a triple rack, you can get one of those. I actually have one inside, and Vader Sabers actually sells Quest Design stands direct off the website here. That way you can buy everything all together from one location, and you can use my discount code and get 5% off as well. And of course, last but not least, you get your pixel blade. This is a 32-inch pixel blade, and the diameter is a 1 inch. Now we know we see Vader's hilt with the wires on the side here. These are actually not wires, they're actually just pieces of plastic stuffed in there. We have the blue, the white, and this should technically be gray and brown, but this is white. So, and then we have the red here. Now you could swap those out for real wires if you wanted to. And I know a lot of us, we do take this thing off, which I can actually just do right now. So in the movie, you don't see that over here, so it was just removed. Now, I might wind up just leaving this as is. I don't know if I'm going to customize it at all. If I do, I think the one thing I would probably do is maybe just replace this, this clamp here. Possibly even the grips. Maybe I'll get longer grips. I'm not sure. Again, this is like 90% of the way there. If I'm really going to nitpick, I would have to pull up some of the images off of the RPF site and see what clamp they have. Maybe Wanawanga has a clamp. I know that Sloth Furnace had the circuit board for inside. Again, for me, like 95% of the way there is more than fine for me. I mean, and this one's even better than the last one I had. So this is gonna be really nice to display. And I think, since I have the 89 Sabers version, I know I never took this off. And the fact that I have the 89 version, the A New Hope, and then this one, we have Anakin, and I also have the DV6. So, I mean, this is a nice little Vader section. That's really nice. I might have to make some sort of maybe a shadow box or just a display or something just to show this like this. I mean, this is really cool. Really dig this. So yeah, the Anakin is also an 89 Sabers version. This is the 89 Sabers version. This is the TXQ SNV4 Pro version. And this is also a Xeno Saber as well. But anyway, let me show you my favorite part of this one now, the new chassis that's in here. So like I was saying, this is more based on what that chassis looked like in the Obi-Wan Kenobi Saber that we recently took a look at. And I also have one in a Cal Kestis one that just came in as well. And let me tell you, this thing is beautiful. And the addition to this that I really, really, really love is the battery removal. I remember having toys like this. You guys all remember having toys where you used to pop this little piece of fabric and the battery would go flying across the room. This is such a wonderful addition to these chassis because these batteries are sometimes so hard to get out. Every chassis needs to have these. And this chassis it's a beautiful design. We have this gold plate in the back, which is a plastic. We have our board up here and our SD card over there. But also on the back here, we have our USB-C charging and a kill switch. Yes, a kill switch. And what's stunning about this, let me zoom in because you need to see this. They line the insides here with LEDs, and it really does make it like a kyber crystal is alive and well in there. Let me turn this light down here for a second so you can see this a little bit better. I'll zip through this a little bit so you can see this. And let me tell you, this chassis has a really, really good sound too. Whatever they're doing in these, they're getting a lot closer to what the '89 Sabers sounds like. You know, and depending on what you have going on with your blade style and everything, it will kind of react to that too.
Rainbow blade. Infinite blade.
It's so great where these chassis are going, and you know, they're coming so far just since I started the channel. I mean, when I started the channel, you couldn't even remove the chassis out of these lightsabers, and now they've got LEDs and some of them have crystals in them. Just absolutely beautiful. Now the top here does have a slightly different connector. I believe we've seen this before in one of the other ones. It might have even been the Kenobi one. And you do have to put these in a certain direction. So this one, we have the kill switch and the little LED lights facing the card here. Okay. And this is a 2-button SNV4 Pro, so we have our auxiliary and our power.
Leia.
Kenobi. Count Dooku.
All right, let's pop in my blade, and I have 0 issues getting the blade in like I did the blade plug. So I'm thinking those blade plugs are just slightly thicker than the actual blades here, or this particular blade slightly thinner than the blade plug. Just depends on how you look at it. Now really quick, I'll show you the SNV4 app. The app is called Force Park V2. And I do think this has a slightly different firmware in it because I've noticed some of the blade styles are slightly different. Now I've already done some of the configuring already as far as blade length and all that stuff, but you do have some great control. And down here in the blade effects, let me go find the one that I loaded in. Should be custom 1.
Fire, flash, crack, custom blade, custom blade.
All right, I'm gonna change the color over to red. And then I have my nice little flicker blade. But you have a bunch of different effects here, different boot effects, which is the ignitions.
Hunter ignition. Cross ignition.
All stuff that's kind of fun to play with once or twice, but then I never use them again. I put everything back to standard.
Stack.
And let's just double check I can actually lower my blade a little bit. It's on 130. This is a 32-inch blade, and that's usually about 115. So let's put this on. I'll go down. All right, so you can see that you could adjust this to any size blade that you have, from a dagger to little Shoto blades to a 32-inch, 36-inch, doesn't matter. You just have to adjust the light length. This looks like it's actually registering just a bit shorter than 115 for this particular blade. And then a lot of times I like to slow my in and out speed down a little bit. So let's put it down to 1 just so you can see that. I kind of sometimes like these slow ignitions, but a lot of times I leave it at like around 3 and it's more than fine. Kind of sounds like a transformer. And then don't forget, you can go into your blade styles and public blades. You've seen this on many videos if you've been here for SNV4 videos before, public blade styles. And there are so many blade effects right here that you can load in. Now, this particular lightsaber I've noticed has some different names here, and maybe, I don't know if this is a different firmware in this one, but we're getting some different blade effects. So there's something definitely updated in here. But I've noticed a few in here while I was flipping through where just the top is affected. Let me see if I could find one. I'm not sure if I saw those And yeah, see here, we have just the top being affected. So in this one, we have a fire kind of tip, like the blade flickers, and then we have a fire tip there. I'll just show you a couple of these other ones here. This kind of has like a faded, has more of a solid. This weird thing that's going on here, green in the middle, rainbow at the top. I mean it's not, I'm telling you, I would never use any of these blades. I go straight for a flicker blade and that's it. I just want it to look kind of like what it does in a movie. Well, this is actually kind of pretty cool, the red tip. You know, and maybe we'll load this one and just see what it looks like. Look at the red half here, so it's like a gradient with a flame on it. So there are, which one was that? That was 06. So let me load this in so you can at least see what it looks like on the blade itself. So that was 06. You're gonna click on upload, upload. All right, and once that's loaded in, we're gonna go to our local blade effects. I'm gonna zip all the way down to the bottom because it's usually at the bottom there. Let me see. All right, I'm just letting you know that I'm doing it like this because it failed a couple of times. And a lot of times if it does fail, just take the chassis out of the hilt itself, because sometimes the metal and everything is just blocking the transmission. It actually prompts you a little window that actually tell you to do that. All right, so I have the blade effect loaded in, and the problem that I noticed was the naming of it. So I thought I was looking for, over in my blade effects, I thought I was looking for Pro 2 006, but it didn't load in as that. What it loaded in as Class 5050 Pro 2, which was a secondary title. So over here you could see that they're labeled as like two things. I thought I was looking for Pro 2 006, but it loaded it in as the label under it, which was Class 5050 Pro 2. All right, so let's go on into the blade effects and see what we can find here. So it should be Custom 1 or Custom 2.
Custom Blade 1.
Custom 1. And there we go. We got the red into that kind of fiery blue section there. So we have the red into that purple into the blue, because when red and blue mix, it does make a purple. So that's actually pretty cool. I like that. You can see it really good over here on the table here. It's a really cool effect. I like that it has that gradient to it with the blade. You know, would I use it? Probably not. You know, I usually stick to my just flicker blades, because that's what the character looks like. But like I was saying, it is a 2-button setup. So we have our auxiliary, flip through your fonts. Okay, if you hold the auxiliary, you go to your
Unstable Blade.
Blade effects.
Pulse Blade. Rainbow Blade.
All right, top we have our ignition. And if you hold your ignition, you go to your ignition effects.
Hunter Ignition.
If you hold down both your buttons, you get into your volume. All right, so you have volume up and volume down.
90, 80, 70, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100%.
And then click both again to set it in. And then of course you can change your color on the hilt as well. Hold upside down, hold your auxiliary, and give a twist. And twist for each color.
Custom Blade 2.
But I gotta tell you, man, these sound great. Whatever they're using in this chassis setup and these speakers, you know, they sound a lot better than what they have in the past. And I hope they stick with this design and this layout, and it's just so good. Now, like I always say, I never know where to hold Vader's hilt, man. We have the 2 buttons here, so you can't really grab it there, and then you have the control box there. You can't really grab that, so you kind of have to like hold it at the bottom here, I guess. Yeah, that's why they make stun sabers. You can hear the accent swings in there. Trying not to hit this camera. I've taken out enough of things in this room. Hear the accent swings? All right, my friends, this is the Empire Strikes Back Darth Vader SNV4 Pro. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. This thing, I think this thing is really cool. I think it's a fantastic spot to start if you want to start building up a Darth Vader collection. So thanks again to Vader Sabers for sending this over for everybody to check out. I'll put a direct link and discount code for everybody down in the description and pinned in the comments if you want to check this out. Head on down and hit the like, subscribe, and notification button to help the channel out, get through those YouTube algorithms. All right, I'll see you on the next video. Be safe and kind out there in the world. See ya.